Hello, Tonberry, and welcome to your deck review. I am trying the camera up here today so that the creature, sorcery, your card type information can be visible, and the card itself can be visible. I've read your primer, and I saw we're doing Go Wide Tokens deck, but Bellathar enables it to be a little bit different than the normal +1/+1 counters deck that just wants to double everything to high hell. You have a couple unique interactions that you enjoy, and you said it works, but it seems to work too quickly. And it's a race car that either gets to the finish line immediately or blows up on the track. So we're looking for how do we create consistency without taking away the fun parts? Because a high power ceiling can still be quite enjoyable, but maybe not when it ends up with you Flintstoning yourself every other game. I got to turn these lights on. Okay. So Felithar, for the uninitiated, is an Abzan commander. We can sack non-land permanents to put counters on each creature we control. So she likes Go Wide very well. I see we have 21 token makers, 14 counter adders, 7 removal, only 36 lands, which, yeah, that's not crazy. 4 finishers. Uh-huh. Okay, Alright, I'm certainly coming to a level of understanding about this deck immediately. 11 pieces of card draw, which is pretty good. Uh-huh. I'm coming to a deeper understanding about what you have built here, Tonberry. Beaters! Botanical Brawler's fun as hell. What I do? If it has... Whenever we get another creature, get a counter on this guy, whenever they have 3 or more, it has flying. Cool. Okay, very cute. I see why you like them. And where's your... We have some ramp. Yeah, okay. Ever since in the days since this card came out, I've had like 10 people talk to me about him as a fucking ramp spell. He is not a ramp spell. He is a cheatery engine. They are different. Yeah. Okay, then we have some decent ramp here. 3 recursion. All right, Tonberry. Let's be honest with each other here. It seems to work too quickly. We haven't solved that little riddle. So whenever you look at a deck, if you have tagged things accurately, your tags reflect your priority of what you want to have happen in a game. So looking at your deck, you definitely want to make tokens. You definitely want to put some counters on those tokens. You definitely want to draw some cards. And that is about where you run out of things you can definitely do. For a given commander deck in Magic the Gathering, most decks can, like every deck, can pick one thing that it wants to do really well. It can pick 2 things that it wants to do pretty well. Once you start picking 3 things, once you start picking 4 things, it's really tough to have, or not even tough, it is impossible to have the like pedal to the floor on all of those things all of the time. And so anything that's below your like 3rd priority, I would say is something you don't feel like has to happen. So if we look at what you feel like has to happen, we have to get going with the go wide strategy. We have to make them big. This is the race car. And then it's your draw card section is kind of a misnomer, because what I can't help but notice here is like nearly all of this card draw, if not every single piece of this card draw, is like pretty conditional. It is card draw that is built to it only works if the deck is already working. Maybe Braids you can start giving up some lands, but on 36 land count and you don't really have land ramp spells, I don't find that particularly believable. You could probably give up some tokens, but again, that mandates that you've been able to keep your token generators around. So what this scares me for is you don't have any rainy day card draw. You don't have any card draw that helps you if the game is not going exactly to plan. Now, if the game is going to plan, you have 55 tokens with 55 counters on them and you draw 55 cards because you hit them with Kutsil. But if you get board wiped early, I don't know, some freak toxic deluges you, you don't keep your commander around. Adeline's the only token maker in your first 10 cards and she gets shot. Then, like, every piece of your card draw kind of fails you. And so that's one spot where you have built the deck to, quote unquote, work too quickly. Where, like, all 11 of these cards are, if I'm winning, do it harder. If I'm losing, I'm fucking blank. Not totally. Not completely blank, right? Like, Gitrog, you'll have something you can sacrifice, but it won't be very good if you haven't gotten the 1/1 counter plan going at all. And then after that, we kind of take it or leave it if we ramp in a given game. That makes sense, because we're a deck of mostly 2-drops and 3-drops, and our commander's only 3 mana. If our land base is good, we will hit all 3 colors by turn 3, just playing lands. We won't care. But notably, you don't really care if you can protect your board. You barely care at all if you can bring anything back from the graveyard. And that's where I think the racecar nature of the deck is really, really, really taking over. Because another thing Abzan is ferociously good at is playing shit from the graveyard. And you're like, come on, man. I got tokens. What are we talking about? And that's where we could bring in, you can bring in cards that are kind of like, that are solving multiple problems at once. And I promise this is not going to be 20 minutes of me recommending, like, just good stuff in the colors. But just to point out, like, the stuff you've left behind, right? There's 6. This is card advantage. It is ramp. It will allow me to replay my good guys from the graveyard if they got shot. Like, there's a lot of stuff like this that can tie together a deck a little bit better in terms of, if you bring this up to, if you brought recursion up to like 8 to 10, then I would be confident we would see like 1 card out of the section over the course of a game. So like protection is just below the number where I would be confident we see 1 card every game. And I think these are all good protection pieces. I think you have chosen well. It's just that we have very few of them compared to how many different ways we have to make tokens. So there's things like 6 that can work. There's like Behold the Sinister 6 for you, which is like, okay, turn 7, did I get board wiped? I bring back probably my whole fucking graveyard. I don't know how many good creatures you would expect to have out. There are other things you can do if you want to use weirder cards. Like you can try to look for connecting qualities on what are my important game pieces, and then try to connect them either through mana value or power toughness. Because 2 other very strong examples of recursion are Smile at Death. Now this requires you to have a lot of targets that are power 2 or less, but puts a counter on them the moment they come in, which I think works with a lot of stuff you want to do. Let's see, we have Phineas, Generous Pup, Apparition, Genova, Shalinda, Bulwark Ox, Drana. We're up to 7 already. 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's even still a little low, but it's not impossible to make something like that work. And it might push you in the direction of, oh, what other power 2 or less guys can I try to use? Another one. On the mana value end, there's stuff like Savine's Reclamation, which this one will hit your whole fuck-ass deck. I swear to God. If we go, yeah, everybody's getting picked up by this. So this is 3 mana, get Adeline back. I get Flashback. I can now bring 2 things back later on. So there's a ton of cards like this that I think you have chosen to leave out in favor of how do I get a fourth fucking token maker onto my board? And that's why you have the race car problem. If you're willing to accept that, it is no longer a problem and is just a quality of the deck. But if you want to fix that, we're going to go to Scryfall Tagger on Savine's Reclamation. We're going to go to I think mana value matters and OTAG reanimate. I think these are the two that matter for us. Commander, green, black, white. So now we're going to be looking at things that bring stuff back to the battlefield based on their mana value. So there's shit like Sun Titan. Holy fuck, if you played this guy on turn 6, you just take over the game, right? There's Unearth, which is a very bad card. So if you wanted to beat people with draft commons, here you go. Ascend from motherfucking Avernus. This is, for you, a 6 mana card, because everything is 3 or less. So for 6 mana, I bring back every creature in my graveyard. Angel of Indemnity is pretty cute. I don't think you necessarily have to do it. Season of the Burrow is kind of adorable. I don't know if you have a lot of like proliferate or ways to move around counters, so I don't think this is actually going to do the big funny. But you could bring something back with indestructible counter, proliferate it, hoo hoo ha ha. But that requires, I think, too much cookery. I am not going to recommend Archangel Elspeth. Fucking Squall does a bang up job of it. I don't think you should play him because the like attack alone double strike doesn't really link in with the go wide strategy you want to do. And it'd be good to put counters on him, but he doesn't make tokens or put counters on anything himself. But he is an example of like, you have all of your eggs in one basket. This guy is the counterweight to that strategy. And you need to pick, at least, if you want to fix the race car problem, you have to pick at least some of these cards to bring up that recursion section and bring up that protection section. You get Hourglass of the Lost. That's adorable. So on 3 time counters, we can bring back our whole graveyard, Ascend from Avernus style. Yeah, so you can go through the rest of this tag yourself to find the stuff you like. But the point is, there are a million of these cards that will help you. I think the angle you should be looking for help on is, what do I do if I get board wiped? If I get exile wiped, you basically have to have a protection spell. And the protection spells that are going to be relevant is probably phase out in terms of what you left behind right now. So those big ones are going to be Clever Concealment, and then Guardian of Faith. 3 mana flash spell and a Invoke instant. So if you have a wide board and you have creatures that are untapped, they can pay for all of it. These 2 cards are damn near must-haves in basically any token deck. I wish there was a more like interesting reason to recommend them. If you're okay with the farewell player blowing you out, don't play them. Keep playing the weirder stuff. But if you want to not lose to farewell, these 2 cards are how you not lose to farewell. So I recommended a bunch of shit that you should add. Let's talk about what we can probably shave away on. Definitely this fucking guy. I see the Shrufus dream and I want to support the Shrufus dream. Ocelot Pride's a very good card. Horn beetle's very cute. So I would be erring on the side of shaving things that do not for sure get me the token or do not for sure get me the counter. So Basking Brood Scale, don't love as much. The tokens it makes are like kind of shitty. We're probably not going for the infinite, and we're probably not even going for that many rounds of putting multiple on. So I would recommend, again, I would argue against that guy. Uh, Kadira is another one where it's not that it's bad, it's that it is very, very parasitic with the deck already working. Take Adeline, who every time I attack, bam, 1/1s. I have my tokens. Kadira, when I attack successfully and I already have tokens, bam, tokens. And I think the same is kind of true of Rufus. And I'm not saying you have to cut them, but I'm saying if you keep them, these are the cards you have to like take out of the deck, look in the face, and be like, I am okay with this deck not working because I want to play you two. And I want to believe that you two are going to work the way I want you to work. Uh, Horn of Valhalla, I'm not as massive of a believer in this deck, particularly because you have like no money. You have 36 lands, which is relatively low. You have 9 pieces of ramp, so you're probably hitting 1 or 0 over the course of a game. You're just not going to be. You will not be doing Yeastguard's Call for very much mana on a given game. And if you want to make a creature big and huge, you're already like dumping counters onto your board every like 5 seconds as it is. So I would also recommend against them. Nested Shambler, you might find a more compelling reason to play after you put all this recursion in, but I also wouldn't believe in them just because they take a while to get going before they can pay off. So it's that type of like, yeah, if things are good and I have time and I'm not getting pressured and I'm not getting hit with removal, great card, beautiful card, amazing card. If I get pressured out early, this is one of the first things that I would rather have be like, well, I'll just bring him back. Well, I just won't get killed in the first place. And I think one with the Kami is kind of on the same mindset there. And then I mean, definitely. Oh God, you have 49 creatures, so you're gonna have creatures entering a lot. And I think a the grain of salt I want you to take with all these cuts, every card you have put in the deck works and is good for what you're trying to do. I'm not saying that these cards don't work. I'm saying that you have too many things that only work for one purpose. And I'm trying to identify what is going to be least painful for us to get rid of so that we can inject a little bit of secondary purpose. That purpose being, I don't want the missile to completely explode my ball sack when somebody shoots it at me. So I'd say metastatic. God, that's cute. Maybe Farafor, just because he's so expensive. This guy's like the ultimate crazy expensive and only does a singular goddamn thing if I've already been allowed to do my thing. Like he's so juicy, but I'm looking at this and I'm thinking like if this is the exact like it's 7 mana. If I haven't been board wiped, I'm playing him, I'm winning, and you were probably winning anyway. But at 7 mana, if you were board wiped, you probably look at him and you just like a lone tear rolls down your cheek. I'll never have you cut Drana. That's my girl. God, Bulwark Ox is really cute. You could almost certainly cut him, but he's really cute. I won't touch any of these. They're adorable. Any creature gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on other creatures you control. Fucking adorable, man. I don't know what to tell you. Fucking adorable. Terrible card, but adorable. And then for your draw, if we wanted to clean that section up, it would be less of, this would be less of like cut for other stuff, and this would be using your own personal bias. Pick the 5 that have let you down most recently and turn them into cards that are either like 6 or Stargaze or Secret Rendezvous, anything. Or if you want to be like, no, that's still going to be more win more. And then like, here's what you can do to recapture the whimsy of all of your like super thematic cards. Every time you win a game, take one back out. Promise from me to you. Every time you win a game, take one of the responsible cards out, put one of the greedy ass cards back in. Find the line. Find the line via experimentation, because right now your whole card draw section does nothing unless the deck is functioning as you want it to. So I would take the 5 or 6 that have done the worst for you recently, and I would turn them into stuff that just always does the goddamn thing it's supposed to do. So like, especially if you do this recursion plan, Ripples of Undeath, hot as hell. Hot as hell. Ripples of Undeath, 6, Stargaze, you can do Secret Rendezvous, you can do Cut a Deal, you can do Tempt with Bunnies if you want a thing that will probably make you tokens. And then this will give you draw that is working whether or not the deck is, which is going to be just so huge on a consistency basis. And I am going to go to a playtest just so we can see this puppy run, but I'm sure that it's fabulous in a world where I'm not getting interacted with. Yeah, I have lands, I have a token maker, and I have a thing that responds well to having counters put on it. Beautiful. That's all I need. Tapped, I play this. I flash this in on end step. I get a fairy. Bellathar, kill that guy. Counter. I'm so happy. I'm the happiest guy ever. I'm going to do token copies of this because they're almost certainly going to keep getting sacrificed. I go Brood Scale Scholar, go to combat, sack this guy. Everybody gets a counter. We're all so fucking happy. Holy shit, I get an Eldrazi spawn too. Ugh. We're honking them. Next turn. I get a fairy. I play Adeline. What's anybody gonna do to me, dude? What's anybody gonna do to me? I go to combat. I kill the Eldrazi. Counter. I'm making 1/1s from Adeline. They all have counters on them because I'm ordering the triggers such that Adeline resolves first. These guys go up. And so I have this like big huge board of guys that are gonna fucking kill you. Right? I'm gonna get to turn 6 or turn 7, and I'm gonna mollywop you. Now if I get board wiped here, I probably fucking scoop. Not totally, because I will have, I have Evolution Witness to try to begin rebuilding. So I could probably go like Evolution Witness, adapt, get Adeline back. But if we didn't have Evolution Witness, rebuilding with just Unforgiving One and Kinsuke or Sentry, that's a very long and hard road that like will get there, but by the time we get there, the dinosaur players killed us 8 times over. So this, I think, is a perfect highlight of racecar syndrome. We have a very compelling board state for bracket 2 or bracket 3 gameplay right now, but because all of the budget is in that board state, just doing like more, Can you imagine how good you would feel if you had Ascend from Avernus in this hand, and somebody was like, "Don't worry, I got him. I can stop Tonberry." Then they pack you up, and you just tap out next turn, and you're like, "Oh yeah, it's all back." Belethar trigger, by the way. So that's what I want for you. That's the future that I want. So I hope this has pointed you in the right direction, and I hope you enjoyed. Best of luck with the deck.